We often think of museums as places of honor. They are the cathedrals of human history, where we keep our most precious treasures safe from the ravages of time. To be chosen for a museum is, in our eyes, the ultimate success for an object. It means you are significant. It means you are immortal. But let us shift our perspective. Imagine being the object itself. Imagine being born for a specific, vibrant purpose. You were forged to cut, woven to warm a body, carved to be prayed to, or painted to tell a story to a specific family. You were created to be used, to be held, to be part of the messy, tactile flow of life. And then one day, you are taken. You are stripped of your context. You are cleaned of the life that clung to you. You are placed behind a sheet of cold, impenetrable glass, and there you stop. Time continues outside, but for you, it is frozen. You are no longer a tool or a treasure. You are a specimen. You are no longer a participant in the world. You are a spectacle. Is there a lonelier existence? To be saved, yet silenced. To be preserved, yet paralyzed. Today we walk the hushed, sterile halls of the gallery to explore the silent tragedy of being born as a museum exhibit. Chapter 1. The Theft of Context, the Trauma of Displacement. The tragedy of the exhibit begins with a kidnapping. It is the theft of context. Every object is born into a web of relationships. A sword is not just metal. It belongs to the hand of the warrior who wields it. A wedding dress is not just silk. It belongs to the movement of the dance and the promise of a marriage. A religious idol is not just wood. It belongs to the smoke of incense and the whispers of prayer. This context is its soul. When an object becomes a museum exhibit, this web is severed. It is geographically and culturally displaced. It is plucked from the muddy trench, the warm home, or the sacred shrine, and transported to a sterile, climate-controlled room, often thousands of miles away. Consider the Benin bronzes. Created to glorify the Oba, king, in the royal palace of the Kingdom of Benin, modern-day Nigeria. They were part of a living, breathing political and spiritual structure. Then, in 1897, they were looted by British forces. Now they sit in glass cases in London and Berlin. They are no longer royal insignia. They are African art. They have been stripped of their power and authority, reduced to aesthetic objects for strangers to glance at. For the object, this is a form of spiritual lobotomy. It remembers the heat of the fire, the sound of the chant, the grip of the hand. But now, it exists in a vacuum. It is a sentence without a period, a song stopped in the middle of a note. It is an orphan. Chapter 2. The Glass Coffin, Clinical Immortality. Once the object arrives at the museum, it undergoes a process called conservation. To the curators, this is an act of care. To the object, it is an act of mortuary science. The goal of a museum is stasis. It is a war against decay. But decay is a natural part of life. By stopping decay, the museum effectively stops life. The object is cleaned. The dirt, the sweat, the oils from human hands, the very evidence that it was loved and used, are often scrubbed away in the name of preservation. It is treated with chemicals to kill insects. It is stabilized. Then it is placed in the vitrine, the glass display case. This is its cell. The air inside is artificial, kept at a constant humidity and temperature. The lighting is carefully calibrated to prevent fading, meaning the object lives in a perpetual twilight. There is a profound cruelty in this glass barrier. The object was born to be touched. A tool craves the hand. A musical instrument craves the breath. But in the museum, the rule is absolute. Do not touch. The object is tantalizingly close to the humans walking by, mere inches away. Yet it is separated by an invisible wall that enforces an eternal solitude. It is preserved, yes, but it is preserved in the same way a butterfly is preserved on a pin. Beautiful, whole, and dead. Chapter 3. The Identity Crisis, Reduced to a Label. As you stand in your glass coffin, you are stripped of your name. In your previous life, you might have been grandmother's favorite chair, or the blade that defended the city. You had a personal history, a narrative known by the people who lived with you. In the museum, you are given a new name. It is a white rectangular card with black text. Bowl. Earthenware. Circa 14th century. Unknown maker. Gift of the estate of wealthy donor. You are reduced to your material and your era. Your entire existence, your triumphs, the secrets you witnessed, the hands you warmed, all of it is erased and replaced by a dry academic summary. You are categorized, numbered, and catalogued. You become accession number 1984-23. B. This is a crisis of identity. You are no longer an individual, you are a representative of a type. You stand in a row with 20 other bowls, 50 other spearheads. You are stripped of your uniqueness to serve an educational narrative. You are forced to represent an entire civilization, a burden no single object should ever have to bear. It's a strange feeling walking through a museum, a mix of awe and a slight creeping sadness for these trapped things. What is the most memorable object you've ever seen in a museum? Did it feel alive to you, or did it feel like a ghost? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you are enjoying this philosophical tour behind the glass, please hit that like button. It helps us curate more deep content for you. 4. The voyeuristic gaze, the spectacle. So you stand there, cleaned, labeled, and encased. And then the doors open, the people come. This is the daily reality of the exhibit. The gaze. You are watched, constantly, but you are not seen. The visitors do not look at you with the familiarity of ownership or the reverence of belief. They look at you with curiosity or boredom or judgment. They walk past you, glancing for 3 seconds before moving to the next case. They read the card, not the object. In the modern era, this has become even more alienating. You are constantly assaulted by the flash of cameras and the glow of smartphones. People turn their backs to you to take a selfie. You become a background prop for someone else's vanity. You are content for an Instagram feed. You are a spectacle. You are there to be consumed visually, but never experienced. You hear the muffled sounds of school groups, the squeak of sneakers on polished floors, the drone of the guided tour explaining who you used to be, often getting it wrong. You are the subject of a million conversations, but you are never allowed to speak for yourself. You are a silent actor on a stage you cannot leave. Chapter 5. The spiritual purgatory. For some objects, the tragedy goes beyond the physical. It becomes spiritual. Museums are filled with objects that were never meant to be seen by the public. Sacred masks used only in secret initiation rituals. Funerary objects meant to accompany the dead to the afterlife. Totems believed to house living spirits. To be born as one of these objects and placed in a museum is a spiritual violation. A mask meant to dance in the moonlight is pinned to a white wall under fluorescent buzzing lights. A vessel meant to hold a god is empty. Many indigenous cultures believe these objects are sentient beings. In the museum, they are not just stored. They are imprisoned. They are suffering. They are spiritually suffocating, cut off from the rituals that fed them. They are crying out for their people, but their cries are muffled by the plexiglass. They are in a state of suspended animation, a purgatory where they are denied both the life of use and the dignity of natural decay. Chapter 6. The storage, the oubliette. And yet, there is a fate worse than the display case. It is the fate of the 95%. Most museums display only a tiny fraction of their collection, often less than 5%. The rest is in deep storage. If you are born as a museum exhibit, the statistical likelihood is that you will not even be a spectacle. You will be boxed, wrapped in acid-free tissue paper, and placed on a metal shelf in a vast, dark, underground warehouse. Here, there are no visitors. There is no light. There is only the hum of the HVAC system and the silence of millions of other forgotten things. You are saved for future generations, but for the present, you effectively do not exist. You are a number in a database, buried in a drawer, waiting for a researcher who may not come for 100 years. You are in the oubliette, a dungeon where the only crime you committed was being collectible. Conclusion: the beautiful prison. So why is it worse to be born as a museum exhibit? Because it is a paradox. It is a state of being saved that feels indistinguishable from being destroyed. We tell ourselves we are honoring these objects, but in reality, we are freezing them. We are denying them their natural right to age, to break, to be used up, to die.